In the golden age of the Mali Empire, when the Sahara Desert was both a barrier and a bridge, there lived a king whose name would be etched in history as the wealthiest ruler to ever walk the earth, Mansa Musa. His wealth was legendary, his influence vast, but beneath the gold and the glory was a story of love, faith, and the sacrifices made for both. Mansa Musa was not born into power, but he rose to greatness through his wisdom, leadership, and an unwavering sense of justice. He was a man of striking presence, tall and regal, with skin the color of rich ebony, and eyes that reflected the depth of his knowledge and the warmth of his heart. His reign brought prosperity to Mali, a vast empire that stretched from the Atlantic coast to the heart of the Sahara. But Mansa Musa's true wealth was not measured in gold or land. It was found in the love he shared with his queen, Zahra. Zahra, the daughter of a revered Islamic scholar, was as wise as she was beautiful. Her mind was sharp, her spirit unyielding, and her beauty was like the first bloom after the rains, pure, radiant, and captivating. Zahra wore the traditional Bogolan Fini cloth, a fabric dyed with the wisdom of generations, and her neck was adorned with a necklace of ancient beads, each one telling the story of her lineage. Their love was the foundation of the empire, a partnership that combined strength with compassion, wisdom with grace. Together they ruled Mali with a vision that extended beyond the borders of their empire, and their love became a beacon of hope and stability for their people. But as with all great love stories, theirs was tested by the demands of duty. Mansa Musa was a devout Muslim, and the call of his faith required him to undertake a pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca. The Hajj was not just a journey, it was a spiritual obligation, a demonstration of humility and devotion to God. Yet the thought of leaving Zahra behind for such a long and perilous journey weighed heavily on Musa's heart. One night, as the warm desert winds whispered through the palace, Musa and Zahra sat together in the garden beneath the canopy of stars that stretched across the African sky. Zahra could see the conflict in Musa's eyes, the struggle between his love for her and his duty to his faith. Zahra, ever wise and understanding, gently took Musa's hand. "My love," she whispered, "our bond is as eternal as the stars above us. Though the sands of time may shift, our love will remain unbroken. Go, fulfill your duty, for your faith is what makes you the man I love. And remember, no matter how far you travel, you will always find me here, in your heart, waiting for your return." With her blessing, Mansa Musa began preparations for the journey that would become one of the most legendary pilgrimages in history. His caravan was like no other. Thousands of men, camels, and horses, all laden with gold, precious stones, and provisions for the long journey. The sheer scale of the procession was a testament to Musa's wealth, but also to his generosity, for he intended to share his fortune with the people he encountered along the way. As the day of departure arrived, the entire city of Timbuktu gathered to witness the grand send-off. The air was thick with anticipation and emotion. Musa, dressed in his finest traditional robes, woven with threads of gold, stood at the gates of his palace, his heart heavy with the thought of leaving Zahra. She stood by his side, regal and composed, her eyes reflecting the strength she had given him. "May Allah protect you, my king," Zahra said softly, her voice steady despite the tears she held back. "Return to me safely, for our people need their king, and I need my love." Musa embraced her one last time before mounting his horse. With a final glance at the palace, he gave the signal, and the grand caravan began its journey across the endless sands of the Sahara. As Musa and his entourage moved through the desert, tales of his wealth and generosity spread far and wide. In every town and village they passed, Musa distributed gold to the poor, funded the construction of mosques, and left behind gifts that would ensure the prosperity of the region for years to come. His pilgrimage became not just a journey of faith, but a symbol of Mali's wealth and Musa's commitment to his people and his religion. But while Musa's fame grew, so did his longing for Zara. The vast desert, with its endless dunes and scorching heat, seemed to stretch time itself. Each night, as Musa lay beneath the stars, his thoughts were filled with memories of Zara, her laughter, her wisdom, her unwavering support. He carried her letters with him, reading them by the light of the moon, finding solace in her words. Meanwhile, in Mali, Zara ruled in Musa's absence, her wisdom and strength ensuring that the empire remained strong and united. But not all in the court were loyal. Jealous of Zara's power and envious of Musa's success, some sought to undermine their rule. Whispers of betrayal and plots against the throne began to circulate. Zahra, ever vigilant, faced these challenges head-on. She knew that she had to protect not only the empire, but also the legacy of the love she and Musa had built. Zahra's most trusted advisors stood by her side, but she knew the real test would come when those plotting against her revealed themselves. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the palace, Zahra called a meeting of the court. She spoke with the authority of a queen, her voice firm yet calm. "There are those among us who would seek to tear down what Mansa Musa and I have built together," Zahra declared, her gaze sweeping across the room. "But let it be known that the strength of this empire lies not in gold or power, but in the unity and love of its people. I will not allow the seeds of discord to take root in our land." The court fell silent, the weight of her words settling like a heavy stone. Those who had harbored thoughts of betrayal now faced the full force of Zahra's resolve. They knew that to cross her would be to face the wrath of a queen who would stop at nothing to protect her people and her king. As the months passed, the situation in Mali stabilized, but Zahra remained ever watchful. She knew that the real challenge would come when Musa returned, for the true test of their love and leadership was yet to come. In the meantime, Mansa Musa completed his pilgrimage to Mecca, fulfilling his spiritual duty. But even in the holy city, surrounded by scholars and pilgrims from across the Muslim world, Musa's thoughts remained with Zahra. He prayed for her safety, for the well-being of his people, and for the day when they would be reunited. The journey home was filled with anticipation and reflection. Musa had seen the world beyond his empire, had touched the lives of countless people, but he knew that his heart belonged to Mali and to Zahra. As the caravan approached the borders of the empire, the landscape began to change. The arid sands of the desert gave way to the lush greenery of the Niger River Valley, and with it came the promise of home. When Mansa Musa finally reached Timbuktu, the entire city erupted in celebration. The streets were lined with people, cheering and waving banners, their faces alight with joy. But for Musa, the only sight that mattered was the figure waiting for him at the palace gates. Zahra. She stood tall and proud, her eyes shining with unshed tears, a smile of pure joy on her lips. As Musa dismounted and approached her, time seemed to stand still. He took her hands in his, the weight of the months of separation falling away in an instant. "My queen, my love," Musa whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "I have traveled the world, seen its wonders, but nothing compares to the joy of being by your side once more." Zahra smiled through her tears. "And I, my king, have held this empire in your absence, but it is only with you that I feel whole again." The reunion was a moment of pure, unspoken love, a love that had withstood the trials of distance, duty, and the temptations of power. Together, Musa and Zahra walked through the palace, hand in hand, their bond stronger than ever. In the days that followed, the court gathered to hear the tales of Musa's journey, the riches he had distributed, and the alliances he had forged. But what struck the people most was the humility and wisdom with which their king spoke. Musa credited his success not to his wealth, but to the love and support of his queen and the strength of their people. Mansa Musa's journey had transformed not only him, but the entire Mali Empire. His pilgrimage had brought Mali to the attention of the world, elevating it to a place of respect and admiration. But beyond the gold and the grandeur, it was the love story of Musa and Zara that captured the hearts of their people, a love that had guided them through the greatest challenges and would continue to inspire generations to come. As the years passed, Mansa Musa and Zara continued to rule with wisdom and compassion, their legacy becoming one of the most celebrated in African history. The empire flourished under their reign, and their love story became legend.